Hi everyone, Reverend Dr. Katie here, and we are going to be talking today about vibration. And I put up 5 false beliefs about vibration, and I'm going to be talking to you about those. And so the first false belief is that the world controls your vibration. If this is something that you believe or that you feel is true, that the world drains you and that you don't have any control over your inward state, then let's go ahead and address that. Let's nip that in the bud because that is the last way that you actually want to live your life. And so the truth is, you are in charge of your vibration. You and only you. You're the only person that possibly can be in charge of your vibration, right? You're the one that inhabits this body. You've come to earth. You've chosen to live as a Jesus follower, and your vibration is completely in your hands. But when we're really empathic, when we do absorb other people's energy, sometimes it doesn't really feel like that. So that's what we're going to get into in this video. And before we even begin, I want to address a question that came up, which is, what is vibration anyway? So your vibration is like the totality of all that you are. It's what you put out into the cosmic universe, into God's created universe. And what you put out there is what you receive back. This is not supposed to be a guilt tactic. So this is not supposed to say if you're going through a hard time, then you deserve it. It's because you put out bad vibrations. That's really not how this works at all. And I think that's a really terrible, actually, way to describe vibration and law of attraction. But what we want to talk about is like we raise our vibration and that our inward state doesn't isn't so affected by the outside world. It's not affected by other people's vibration. It's not affected by, vampires, by energy vampires, by people who zap our energy. And this is the perfect time, the situations that we are in right now, it is the time, Jesus followers, to get this right, to get this situated for yourself. Because I just watch so many people, I watch this false belief that the world controls them interfere with the way they are living or not living their mission and the way that they are living with purpose or not living with purpose and the way that they're spreading the good news in the way that they live and the ways that they interact with people. That's really important. So that's what we want to start to address here. All right, so now that we have a handle on what vibration is and how we put it out there in the world, and yeah, sometimes you're going to go through periods in life that are tougher than others. And when you know how to raise your vibration to live in a very high state of vibration, then those tough times, you'll be able to have a little more fortification for them. You'll be able to forge through them a little more easily. So yeah, if any questions are coming up for you or any comments or even feelings, pay attention to those, write them in the comments so I can be sure to see those. I'd love to address as many as I can while I'm actually live, and then I'll get to any others later on as you're watching the replay. The replay. That was a funny way to pronounce it. As you're watching the replay. Okay, you knew what I meant. All right, so then vibration. So how many of you feel like you are constantly attracting people who need, but never give? Like you attract the takers, you don't attract the givers, and you're out of balance in that way. How many of you feel like you are constantly kind of putting yourself out there, but you're not getting kind of back the things that you are putting out there? And then you get into a yo-yo situation where you're like, you lose all hope, you lose despair, and then your what we call vibration plummets, it goes really low, and then you start to work at it again, you get your vibration high, and then you put some good energy out there, then you feel like you get smacked down again, and you start this whole yo-yo cycle. That is very common, and that's a representation of the false belief that the world is controlling your vibration. Instead, we want to develop the inner core that has a high vibration no matter what. A high vibration doesn't mean you can't be sad. It doesn't mean you can't process grief. It doesn't mean that you can't sometimes feel confused. It means that those things you are able to process and transform that energy because you have such facility with working with your own energy and your own vibration. The sort of false way that I see this is something called spiritual bypassing, which we're going to talk about in a few days. But we don't want to say like, no, I can't feel sad because I have a high vibration. That means you're not human, right? What we want to say is I am sad and I still have a high vibration. And I know what I need to do to process that sadness and figure that out and transform that sadness in order to go and do what God has called me to do. Right? So the false belief of the world controlling our vibration, I think this is exactly what Jesus is talking about. Like in the Gospel of John, it's a lot about what Paul talks about in the New Testament, that we have peace that passes understanding. Jesus says, we're to be of the in the world, but not necessarily of the world, because you are accessing this Christ energy that flows up and down you, in you, around you, surrounding you all of the time. And that Christ energy helps hold you steady, and it's like this amazing processor, and it helps you process everything that's going on in the world, which, y'all, frankly, right now is a lot. A lot is going on in the world. And as Jesus followers, we're called to hold sacred space for the world. We're called to be that example to the world so that our own vibrations are held exceedingly high and we can help impact the world at the highest level. And so I'm always searching for people, wanting to talk to people who are really ready to do that at the highest level that they possibly can by learning about their energy system, by keeping their vibration high, and by being these shining lights out there in the world. So if that feels like you and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of this yo-yo life, I'm tired of kind of being mentally drained by this, I'm tired of getting my hopes so up and then having them dashed and getting my hopes so up and having them dashed, then maybe it's time that you begin this journey. So that's what I'm here for. I would love to talk to you. If that's the case, please write any questions, comments in the comment section here. Reach out to me if I can serve you in this way. If you're ready to get off of this yo-yo train and really ready to live into the highest vibration that you can so that you can serve yourself and others at the highest level. Reach out to me and just send me a private message. I will talk to everyone soon.